you. Oh, okay. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. So since you're recording, I think that's fine then. Yeah, it's very necessary. I was thinking it's already recorded before though. Let me just put it here. All right. So as I was saying, yeah, I'm going to continue from where I stopped, which is let me just talk about this. Yeah. So the first thing we talked about was the definition of robots and why we should learn robotics. Now the next thing we're going to talk about now is basically we're going to talk about the history of robots. So what are actually the brief history of robots, right? So robots is actually robots is a reprogrammable and multifunctional manipulator. It's more like a machine that is programmed to carry out a specific task. So the word robot actually started, it was actually coined in 1942, but then, this was actually by a writer called Asimov. So Asimov made a robot which is by Honda, and this was the first robot that was able to grab things with the hands. So it's more like a primate robot. So it's able to grab things with the hands. So it's called Asimov. But then the robot then has about 3 laws, which are number one, the robot will never harm anyone. All right, the robot does not harm anyone. So now the robot can only do something which is different from the first law if it's trying to save itself from a danger, right? So if you look at the robot law, a lot of people think robots are going to take over human life, robots are going to take over human jobs, but there are laws of robots. So it's now, when you're coming into robotics, do you want to come for the ethical robotics or you want to go and do something dangerous with robots? So that's just where the problem comes in. Now, the first programmable manipulator was called YLEAD, which was invented by George C. in 1950. Now, then Charles Rosen invented Sheki in 1958. But today, several robots have been developed, such as Asimo, now Sophia, Sport Mini, among others. Robot is also automatically operated machine that replaces human effort. But note this, not all robots looks like human, and not all robot does what humans do as well, right? So just have that in mind. Yes. So next thing is, so yeah, so that's it. So thinking I'm having some errors. Stuff. All right. Okay. So the next one is classification of robots. So how can we classify these robots we are talking about? How can we classify them? So we have wheeled robots, that is robots with wheels. Then we have legged robots. We have legged robot, that is robot with that has kind of mechanism that looks like maybe an animal, right? Sometimes they call it an animal. Some companies have become like Boston Dynamics, Sport Mini. Then we have industrial robots. We have humanoid robots, which is more like humans. Then we also have the UAV drones, right? So the UAV drones are more like drones, which is what we are going to talk about in the next section of this our meeting. All right. So now the next thing we want to talk about then is, what are the applications of all these robots? Since we talk about classification, how can we really apply these robots? Yeah, because not all robots actually are humanoids. Not all robots are wheeled. Not all robots are legged, right? So depending on the applications of all these robots, that's what makes these robots unique. So now if you look at this part, you see that we have medical robots. So all these robots are actually used for carrying out maybe surgery for patients. Then we also have automotive robots, which are more like industrial robots, where they use in manufacturing cars, aeroplanes, and what have you. Then we also have the aerial surveillance. We have the quadcopter, which is more like a flying robot, which is what we are going to talk about also in this class. Then maybe we can actually do some flying as well, because I think I have a robot here, and I think you guys will be willing to fly this, right? Yeah, but then we should also talk about drones, which are flying robots in future. Then now we also have military robots, and we have educational robots, which they use in schools these days to train people on STEM education, how to build robots with how to build robots that you can use for educational purposes. Yeah, so that's just it. Then we have what they call service robots. So there's what they call there's a saying that robots are going to help us in restaurants to serve us coffee, to serve us food. So if you look at this by the right hand corner, you see we have the service robot that was trying to serve drink to a visitor that comes around. So this is actually one aspect of robots that I feel we can look out for, and I think it's something that is going to change the whole things in future. So now let's build our first robot. So I think this is a time for us to build our robot, and I think you guys are like, okay, so how can we get started with building robots? Yeah, so when it comes to building a robot, the first thing you should have in mind, so if you look at this website, we may have to, so I'm going to share a link to this, but then, I'm going to explain this later on. Yeah, so just hold on. I'm going to explain this later on to you, how to get started. But before I go into that, I have a video that can give you heads up on how to go about this. So let me see. System mic. Let me see if I could play this video. Yes, can you get the audio? Can you hear the audio from the video?
I think you have to share sound as well. While you're screen sharing, you have to click on share sound so we can hear the sound too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Code blocks lesson, but for now we want to work with circuit. So you create
can you hear it now?
But then you must have signed up in this account. You must have registered in the account.
Sure, we can.
Circuit.
Okay.
It opens a blank page for you to work with. So it loads the page. The environment, here we have the basic component. Then here we have the working environment, and these are like the tools you may need for what you want to use them for. So for example, I want to make an LED blink. You drag the LED down to this environment. Then you scroll down a bit. You look for the Arduino, then you drag it as well to this environment. Then what next? You try to connect these cathodes to the GND, then the anode connected to pin 13. Right, so now I'm going to click on this, then drag it down to this point. Alright, come straighten it, then click on this anode and drag it to pin 13. So you can give the color of your LED if you want to, like I'm going to use red, then cathode, black. Right, so now it's time to code. So when you click on this code environment, you see block. Then if you want to see your text, you want to convert this block into script coding, you can click on block plus text. Then you'll see whatever you have as your block, it's converted to the text. So here we have void setup and void loop. Void setup is like first an activity that runs once, while void loop is what moves continuously, what operates continuously. So here we're going to be blinking an LED for 1 second, then taking it off for 1 second continuously all through. So I'm going to click on code to hide it. Then we click on start simulation. The LED comes on for 1 second. It goes off for 1 second. So this is how you could build a simple robot using Tinkercad online virtual environment. So in case you don't have the hardware kit, you can start up robotic career just using the internet and this platform. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be expecting you to start tinkering and start building robots today. Thank you.
All right, so I just sent the link for Tinkercad. So I think it's so this is actually the platform I used to make this robot. And if you see this robot, basically what it does is that it just kind of blink an LED on the screen. And someone said it's exciting. Okay, Favor said it's exciting. Okay, so I would like us to also build something as well, but then we might use that as our workshop section. So what I want us to do is, if we can, I think most of us should have an email address, so we can visit that link I just sent to you now. I don't know if that's fine, or should we do our workshop section after this? If that's fine by you, I think it's cool. So we could finish up the whole session. Yeah, so can you please send, so, okay, so let me see. Mine is Slack channel. All right, so but let me finish up this and we'll do our workshop session later on. I think that's fine. So we can also learn about drones, then we can then go into building our robot and also flying drones in practical. Yeah, so let's do it that way. So we have like a good, yeah. So I'm gonna go to the next slide now. Right, so now the next thing is flying robots. Yeah, so how many of us want to fly the robots? So this is actually an example of flying robots. Yeah, and this is a drone. So a drone is a flying robot, right? All right, so since you already know that drone is a flying robot, we need to, oh, sorry, let me give us a quick rundown of what drone is, right? So basically, people call drones unmanned area vehicle, but the fact is not all drones actually flies. Yes, so we have what they call ground-based rover, which is like what you're seeing at the right-hand corner. We have underwater drones. We also have UAV, which is more like for air or unmanned area vehicle. So you can see drones are actually formally called unmanned area vehicle, which is essentially a flying robot, right? But however, drones can be simple rover on land and also underwater. So, but in what we are going to focus on today is flying robot, which is more like this unmanned area vehicle. So I'm going to teach us how you can build this unmanned area vehicle from scratch. I'm going to also teach us how we can fly this unmanned area vehicle in real world. And also, in case you guys will be interested, like, okay, what about if I want to start up a career in drones? What are the basics? What are the most important things I need to learn, right, when it comes to flying robots? Okay, so that's what we need to talk about. So next slide is basic types of drones. So what are the basic types of drone? Yeah, so what are the basic types of drones? So now let's get started. The basic types of drones, we have what they call the horizontal takeoff and landing drones, which is the H2. We have what they call the vertical takeoff and landing drone, which is more like the V2. But today, a lot of people are bringing these two together, which is more like wing drone and drones with fans. So they call them the hybrid drones. So you look at this, which is at the left-hand corner below. It's more like a drone which has the fans, propellers, and also has a wing. So most people are going into hybrid drones because it saves you energy, your battery stays longer, right? And also it gives you opportunity to carry heavy payloads, right? So now let me categorize them again. So we have multi-rotor drone, which is called VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing. So if you look at this drone I have currently here, this is more like a vertical takeoff and landing drone. It actually takes off like this. So we're going to do this practical. We're going to fly a drone practically, take it off, then land it as well. So this is actually a VTOL, right? Then the next thing we are going to talk about is the fixed wing drone, which is the H2. So the H2 drones are the horizontal takeoff and landing drone. So they are actually those wing-like drone, which is normal, like a normal airplane, just like what you have at the top left-hand corner. Yeah. Then we have the hybrid drone, which is more like combination of both, right? So those are the basic types of drones or basic type of flying robots that we have. There are still more, but then these are the basic one that we have. So next thing is to talk about simple drone assembly. So let's build our first drone. So who amongst us is ready to build a drone? Yes, so if you want to build a drone, first ask yourself, are you trying to build a multi-rotor or a fixed wing drone? So everybody wants multi-rotor because it doesn't need runway to fly, right? You can actually fly a multi-rotor even in your room. So I can fly this drone in the room and it's going to fly like normal. But you can't fly a fixed wing in the room because you need a runway to take off, right? Just like a normal plane. So we're going to be building a multi-rotor today, but this multi-rotor has 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has about 4 wings, 4 propellers, or 4 rotary wings. So these are actually rotary wings, or you call them propellers. So when it has 4, it's called quadcopter. When it has 3, it's called tricopter. When it has 6, it's called hexacopter, and when it has 8, it's called octacopter. So it now depends on how many props you want to work with. So if you look at the chassis, we have about 4 slots for the propellers. So we're going to be building this together. Now, when you have a chassis, the next thing you add to your chassis should be your propellers. So if you can look at the video, you find out that some propellers are going to be mounted on the chassis. Now, when you mount these propellers on the chassis, the next thing you put in is your propellers. When you mount the brushless motors on the chassis, the next thing you add up is your propellers. So you're going to add your propellers. Mind you, the propellers has different angles. So you always note that the propeller has different angle. 2 of the propeller, like this part, diagonally, they move in anti-clockwise, while the other side could move clockwise. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that later on. I think we can actually see it from this point. Okay, so if you look at this picture, by the left hand corner, you see the direction of the motors. Now, if you see this, you see that you have 3, 1 at the front of the drone, and we have 2, 4 as the back of the drone. So it means the 3 and 4 are moving clockwise, like a clock. Then 1 and 2 are moving anti-clockwise. If you don't do this, your drone is not going to fly. It's going to either turn upside down or something. So you must note the orientation of your propellers, okay? Now, the next thing is when you add your propellers to your brushless models, the next thing is to add your flight controller. So if you look at this, I just added a Pixel 4 flight controller on my drone. And this is actually what allows it to fly, right? So you could actually use this to control the drones, to send it to a place even without your remote control. That's what they call autonomous flights. Then you can also do a remotely controlled flight, right? Then the next thing is to connect your GPS module. So if you see this picture, you see I just added the GPS module to this flight controller. And this can actually help me to say, okay, I want my drone to come back to the location where it took off from. With the help of the GPS module, it could actually go to a place, then come back to its location. They call it return to launch, okay? So that's just that about that. Then the next thing is to mount your batteries. Battery is very, very important when it comes to flying drone. So they call it LiPo batteries. So if you look at this, you see a LiPo battery just appeared underneath, in between the chassis and the base. So the battery is what powers these 4 propellers. And once it powers the propellers, it then makes it fly. All right. So, but then I think there's one thing missing, which is going to be ESC. I didn't add it to this video, but ESC is also connected to the propeller, to the brushless models, and these are actually what powers these models to drive. So I think I need to add it next time, but it's always more like a small device that they added. I will just have that in mind, that you need electronic speed controller before that. All right, then the last thing I think I've not mentioned is the remote control. So I think you can see this remote control from the side. You see this remote control, which is this white stuff here, and the phone holder. So that's the remote control. They call it the transmitter, or they call it the radio transmitter. Then we have the receiver, which is going to be mounted to the drone. I don't know if you can see the black stuff there. Then this is the radio transmitter. So this is actually how you can build your drone if you want to start a drone carrier today. Yeah, because we teach how to build drones, and that's what I do basically. I actually build robots and drones. All right. So I just taught you how to build a quadcopter drone today. So now I think the next thing is, what are the interesting uses of drone? Yeah, since we cannot be able to build our drones today, I think the next thing we should have in mind is, what are the interesting uses of drone? We should also know the interesting part of drones. We should know why should we get a career in drone technology and what aspects is suitable for us. So number one, we can use drone for photography. Yeah, so drone like quadcopters can be used for capturing high definition pictures, images, and it can be used for ceremony like weddings. You must have seen where they use drones for carrying out footage and videos for recording wedding sessions and remarkable moments, right? So you can use them for carrying out those kind of events, like sport events, wedding ceremony, and also um, for search and rescue operations as well to keep video feeds. Then you can also use drone for videography, just like weddings. You take pictures. You can also use drone to carry out high definition quality videos, and you can also use them for like shooting movies as well. You can use drone for shooting movies. So in case you want to look for a career you want to pursue in drone technology, if it decides, okay, I want to just use my drone for carrying out for filming movies, and you're going to be paid heavily for that. Like in the US, you could actually use your drone to carry out movies, and you pay for 1 hour. You can you can be paid like $15 for 1 hour. So it means if you spend like 10 hours, you get about $150. That's a lot of money, right? So you could actually think about using your drones, choosing a career in this field. Then also you could actually use for a drone for drone racing. So there are competitions whereby you can just bring your drone out to an open field. Then you guys do a competition, and when people come there to watch you guys fly, they pay you guys for your programs. They pay you guys for entertaining them. So you could actually have like 10 drones and 10 drone pilots that you could say, okay, I want you guys to compete with your drones. So drone racing is becoming popular in drone lovers to use this for high-end drones. So many racing competition has been launched, like championship racing. So many racing competition are actually being launched, like the organization I work with in the US is called Drone Cadets. We use drone for racing and drone simulation as well, using VR Google. So you can just wear something like a VR, then you could also use your drone to control these your Google to control this drone. Yeah, even though it flies and you see the drone in your VR glasses. All right, so we have for drone delivery, like I think Amazon has already started this, where you could actually deliver maybe an item that you order and it comes to your doorstep, right? So I think some hospitals use this as well. So you could also use this for sending, let's say, transplants, kidney transplant or lungs from one hospital to the other. But then for delivery purpose, I think a lot of people are bringing this because nowadays drone delivery is becoming very popular as companies like Amazon have started sending products to customers via drones and making delivery fast and efficient. So disaster relief service. Now, this is actually something important. When it comes to disaster, some vehicle might not be able to go to places where there's earthquake, where there's landslide, where there is tsunami. So we can use drones to help eradicate or provide relief materials to these people that are having these problems or that are victims of these disasters. So government and people across the world provide food disaster heat zones, search for living beings in radiation heat zones. Like for example, the earthquake that happened recently in Haiti. Some of my team went there to Haiti to help them provide support and support, give them aids and all that. So these are the things you note. Then I think the next thing is agriculture. So yeah, I think this is one very important tool that I would like you guys to note. Agriculture is one important thing that is really happening in the drone field, or the drone field is really happening in the agriculture field. So recently, I will be taking some programs on this with our team in Mali to help farmers in the agricultural field to jumpstart drone technology in the farm. How can you use drone in the farm? So you can actually use drone to check for number of plants you have or number of plants you have. You could also use drones to check for your area mapping. Also can use drone for spraying your farm. I have a drone I built which can be used for spraying agricultural chemicals on farmland. So you could actually use drone for spraying. You could use drone for mapping. You could use drone for checking the numbers of plants you have and number of crops that you have. Yeah, so there are so many things you can use drone for when it comes to agriculture. Recently, I'm trying to build a model which could use a drone for checking how many ripe fruits you have and how many unripe fruits you have. So if you look at this, you see that you have a lot of opportunities when it comes to learning drone technology. And I feel most of you might be interested, like, okay, since you've given me the uses, I think I can pursue a career in drone technology. Yeah, it's actually a very wonderful career to pursue, actually. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to show us how to fly a drone. So I'd like you guys to watch this video, and once you watch this video, we're going to simulate this drone and see how the drone fly. All right. So that's just that about that. Okay. So let me click on this video. Yeah. So I think the audio is going to work. Yeah. I think you can hear the sound, right? I believe you can hear the sound.
Yes, you can hear it.
Okay, fine. That's cool. So let's fly the drone.
Okay, so I want to explain the movement of the plane. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is throttle up, then throttle down. Then we have your right, then we have your left, right? Then lastly, I'm going to talk about the roll and the pitch. So pitch means move forward, that's pitch forward, then pitch backward. So then we have the last one, which is the roll. So roll left, then roll right. So what we have in total is up and down, yaw, then roll and pitch.
Okay, so I think that's it for the drone segment. So we've been able to see the basic stuff on how to get started with drone. But then um, I made a video which is going to be available by tomorrow on this YouTube link. So it's going to just talk about the movement of the drone very well. So in case you didn't get the point, there are actually basic 4 movements of drones. No, there are basically three basic movements, which is going to be like the aside throttle up and down, which makes it take off and land, right? Aside throttle up and down, which makes it take off and land. The other 3 movements are what they call yaw, which is like this. I think that's just what I was trying to explain. That's for it to turn around. Then we have what they call pitch, which is to move forward and move backward. That's for it to move forward and move backward. That's pitch. Then we have what they call roll. Roll means to turn like this and turn like this. So that is what they call yaw. So yaw, then pitch and roll. Right? So these are the basic things that I was trying to point out there. But that video, the link I shared is going to really help a lot because that's what I used for some students in Canada in August. All right, so that's it. Then I think let's see. Next thing we have. All right, so I think that's just that. So I think it's time for more practical stuff. We're going to talk about
Hello, Mr. Cyril. I think we lost I think network issues. Let's just give him a little more time to join in again. Let's give him more time to join in again. Okay, so please, if you have questions on this session, it's now be the great time. It would be a great time to drop your questions in the comment section. So as soon as he gets back, we just ask after his workshop while we wait for him to join in again. Please drop your questions if you have one. And then I hope we've all copied out the links that he dropped. The links will be dropped on Slack later, right now. But if you have a question, please drop it on the comment section right away. Okay, so while we wait for him to join in again, I hope so anyone that is interested, he talked about having a skill in robotics and drone making.
So we should do something more practical now. Yeah, so click on the link I just shared. Let me see if I could also, excuse me, let me see if I could upload the website as well. So. Okay. So before we go into that, I'd like us to see this video. I did this video recently. But I sent the link already, so you can just try to sign up so we can do something practical. Yeah, because we still have some time. We still have like 40 minutes, but then let's just watch this video. This is actually a simple video that I was able to come up with, and it will help us understand real life scenario of how to get started. Yes, so
hi guys, so in this video you're going to see how a simple robot can be built using Tinkercad. Here we have an ultrasonic sensor which uses sound to calculate distance within a particular range from itself an obstacle. And this is the servo model that's going to move from 0 to, let's say, 180 degrees. So you could use this device or this model for making automatic hand sanitizer. You can also use it for automatic gateway for toll gate system. So the way it works is there's actually a code for it. So this is a bunch of codes. I know you might not be able to figure this out today, but then I'm just going to give us the demonstration of how this really works. So when you click on start simulation, for example, it gives you an opportunity, like the servo motors now is turning fine, but then how does it work? So this servo motor only turns when you come close to your ultrasonic sensor, but the moment you go far away from it, it goes to an under position, let's say 90. Then the one that comes like less than 30, it moves to another position, let's say 180. So this is actually how this robot works. You kind of go to one angle when you are more than 30 cm. The moment you come close to 30 cm, it actually then moves to a new position. Right, so this is how your toll gate system works, where you see vehicles come close to a barricade, then the barricade opens for you. Then the moment you pass through, the barricade closes. So you can do something like this for your automatic gate opening system. Hope you enjoyed this short video, and I hope to see you Thinker in the future. Bye for now.
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. Okay, sorry. So I said, so that's it for now. So I'm going to share my, yeah, so I'm going to share this. So I don't know if you registered already. Yeah, if you register this account, so we can get started. When you open, when you're done registering, you could just see 3D image circuit. Then you click on new circuit, right? So when you click on new circuit, it opens a blank environment for you, right? So it opens a blank environment for you. So this is what you have. So you're going to still join class, but then if you have an email address, just go to sign up and register with the email address. Yeah. If you have an email address, go to sign up, register with the email address. So should I give us some time? Okay, someone said I should wait. Okay. Okay, let me give you the link. So this is actually the link again. Let me see if I can send this link. Because it's sorry. Okay. Okay, so go to this link, then register with your email address. So once you're done registering, we can get started. So, but then I will show you some video while we wait for you guys to register. So let me see if I can show you a video on what we want to do today or what we've done previously for some student. What do we click on join now? So you click on join now to register. That's why you click on join now or sign up, any of them. But I think join now is what you should see. Then you register with your email address so you can have this account ready, right? So while you're registering, I'm going to just show you a video of what we've done so far in we took some students in Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm going to show you what we've done so far. So while you're trying to register. So I think you guys should be registering now, right? Yeah, so you just try to register while I get the video for, yeah, so I'm going to show you some things we did for some students. Yeah. So, yeah, so while you're trying to sign up, I'm going to just get what we did for some students in the, some student and also some students in the US recently. So I'm going to show you what we have done so far, so you guys will see what we've done. So I'm going to share the screen. Yes. So when you've done all this simple stuff, right? They are going to still learn how to build. So you're going to learn how to build more practical stuff like this. This is a more practical project. Yeah, so I just want to show you what we did.
Hi there, Spark fans. Rob Reynolds here to help you jump into the new SIK 4.1. Now, I want to point out that these experiments will also work if you're using the SIK 4.0. However, I make no guarantee, express or implied, regarding a 4.2, 4.3, 4.5, or any other future iteration of the SIK. So let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do, and you can do this before your kit even arrives, is to download and install the Arduino IDE. That stands for Integrated Development Environment, and that's going to be the tool you use.
Sorry for interrupting. So now, what we are trying to do, we are trying to build a robot without the hardware. So, but then, for you to get started, with robotics, you also need the hardware, right? So that's just one thing I want you to know. You need the hardware. But I'm trying to make you understand that we are trying to just build the Arduino currently, but now this time without the hardware. So just have that in mind, right? So I'm going to show you the video of when you finally gotten the hardware. How is your robot going to look like at the end of the day? So that's why I want to show you this video. But then what we are just going to do is just to blink an LED and that's it. So keep watching. So I don't know how many of us have finished registering. Just one person. Can we get like 2 more persons so we could just do our project? We just have limited time. Or if you've not gotten it, I can just do the walkthrough. Then once you're done registering, you can do it on your own. All right, just have a few time now. So yeah. So I'm going to give like next 2 minutes. So once I get like 3 persons, then we can just do the practical in real life, right?
To code and upload everything to your SIK. You can grab that over at arduino.cc. So let's go over there, download and install that, and then we can start with our first circuit. Hey Rob, you have to tell them about the new driver. Oh, the what? The new driver. See, since the SIK 4.1 comes with the Redboard Quick, they're going to need to install or at least upgrade their CH340 drivers. Well, shouldn't that be installed automatically? Well, maybe, maybe not, and it's better to be safe than frustrated. I tell you what, you relax, grab a cold beverage, I'm going to go walk them through installing the 340 drivers, and I'll send them back when I'm done. Okay, thanks. Hi there, Spark fans, Rob Reynolds here. For years now, we've been able to run many of our boards without really having to think that much about drivers, or by simply installing the good old FTDI package and calling it good. But that's starting to change as more boards are using the CH340 chip. Some of those boards here at SparkFun include the SparkFun Redboard Quick, the Redboard Artemis. I want to talk about LEDs, and I want to talk about breadboards. Now, an LED is a polarized component. In order to work properly, electricity can only flow through it in one direction.
Okay. If
you take a look at it, you'll notice on the 2 legs.
Okay, so we have like I think more than 3 now. So let's get started because of our time.
The negative.
So
now,
I think others can actually
look with it, and you accidentally snip the legs off to the same length.
Do this together.
Trouble there. Not
we
so.
Can, yeah, we can continue later. So let me just stop
right
this
here
video.
On the base, one side has a flat edge.
Right.
That flat edge is going to be your negative side. Second
All
thing.
right, so let's get started with our main task for today. Circuit design. So when you're done registering, I'd like you guys to visit. Yes, I'd like you guys to go to the circuit, then click on new circuit. Yeah, so click on new circuit. Because of our time, we just have just like 30 minutes or 29 minutes left. So click on new circuit. How many of us have done that? How many of us just clicked on new circuit? Okay, so once you click on new circuit, you should have an environment like this. I don't know if you can see my environment. This environment is more like you see these icons, this LED resistor. You see a blank environment, which is this in the middle. Then you see you have the tools at this corner. All these are the tools you're going to need in future. Then you have code and simulation. So this is what you should have when you click on new circuit. So have you done that? Okay, someone said they can see. All right, so now when you're done with that, so should I proceed? If you have like 3 or 4 persons, I think it's fine. So the rest can rewatch the video to continue because of our time. I'd like everyone to build the robot, but then I'm trying to make use of the time. Okay, I think Nandi is with us. Favor as well. All right, so now for us to get started, you need to click and drag just 3 things for now. Sorry, I think you just two things. So I just want to show you how to blink a simple LED. That's just what I want to show you. Because that's the first thing you do when you want to start robotics, right? So you click on LED. When you click on the LED, you click on it, then drag it to this place. So you click and you release your left click. So you click and drag. Click your LED and drag it to this place. So how many of us just did this first task? You click with your left, then drag it to the working environment. How many of us did this first task? Have we all done this task? Yeah, so I'm waiting for a response. How many of you first click and drag the LED to the working environment? Okay, so Namdi has given me a yes. So who again has done this? Mind you, when you register, what you need to do is to click on new circuit. We are working on circuit, not 3D, right? We're working on circuit. So you click on new circuit. So once you're done with this first task, the next thing is to scroll down a bit. You see where they wrote Arduino Uno 3. Arduino Uno 3. We're trying to build a simple robot, and the robot is just like more like a traffic light, but then we just want to use one LED to blink on and off. That's what we're trying to build today. Right? So I don't want to take our time. He said, someone said I can't see new circuit. So new circuit is just by the left hand side. Once you register, go to the home, then you see new circuits. You see new circuit close to the home. Like you see 3D and you see circuit. So click on circuits, then click on new circuits. So someone said, I'm sorry, I'm can't follow. Have to watch the video. Okay, so you could actually watch the video later on. So that's why I'm trying to make it easy by showing you the step. So when you have the board, the LED drop there, you click on the Arduino, you drag it to, let's say, close to the LED. So when you're done dragging it, you release your hand. Okay. When you release your left finger, so if you look at it finally, you notice I drag only two things, and that's just the two things I want you to drag and dump. Right? Don't drag any other thing. Just drag those two things for now. So when you're done with that, once you're done with that, the next thing I would like us to do is to connect the wires. So we need to connect the cathode wires to the ground, which is the GND. You click from this point, then you click on the GND, then you click once. Then once you click once, you can decide to position your LED straight, to make it straight. That's cathode means negative, which is GND. Then anode means positive. But this time around, I would like to connect my anode to pin 13. So I'm going to click from this point to this point. So, but I would like to see how many of us have connected the ground to the, from the cathode to the ground. Have you done that? So the next thing you need to do is to connect anode, which is this. When it shows anode, you click and drag it to pin 13. Then you release your hand. Then you click on pin 13. So how many of us have done these connections? How many of us did these connections? These are just the two connections you need for you to get started. And after this, we can then code our work. So, okay, fine. So since you've done that, the next thing is you can give the color of your wires. I like using GND as black, so you can just select black. Then I like using anode as red, so you can click on anode, then you can select red. So here you have a black for your negative, then anode, which is positive, I have red for it. So it's going to make your code, your wiring nice, because in wiring there's always positive and negative in electronics. So make sure those two things are very, 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 very done. So you won't mix up your wiring and soon make your LED burn. That's just what I did there, and that's it. So once you've done that, the next thing is to run your code. So I believe you change the wiring of you've changed the colors, right? So if you change the colors, the next thing is to click on code. When you see that on the codes, you have block and text, and you have text. You have block and text, and you have text. So for them, we have block. But I would like us to go to text so we can see our text when you're working as well. So when you see block plus text, you see we have your block. See your block code now. If I should separate this, you see it's kind of giving you the real life coding as well on your text environment. We are not going to code. It's already coded by itself, so we don't need anything to add up to this. What we just have here is we want our LED to come on 1 second and also to go off 1 second. That's just what we have in this place. So if you want to make it say, I want it to come on for 2 seconds and I want it to go off for 1 second, just put 2 at this point here, then leave here as 1. So if you look at this, it's going to be 2000, then this side is going to be 1000. So I just want you to understand that anything you put here is going to reflect at your code side. Look at this, is now 1000. Let me change it back to 2002. It's going to be a delay of 2000. So that's why I like you guys to use block and text. I like making you guys use block and text. So let me repeat what I just said. I mean, when you click on code, you're going to see block. This block is the first thing you see. But I like you guys to learn how to code yourself using text. It makes you look professional. So you can use block plus text. Block for text gives you opportunity to have your code in block and also have your code in text. So when you see at the end of the day, you have a circuit which has the block LED, right? Then you have pin mode LED as output. The digital write, that is, let the LED come on for 1 second, for 2 seconds. Then digital write LED, let it come off for 1 second. That's just what your code is talking about here. So when you're done with the code, you hide your code, like click on the code, then click on start simulation. Then when you click on start simulation, you see your light start coming on for 2 seconds and going off for 1 second. When you click on start simulation. Yeah, so I hope you can see that the LED comes on and off by itself. Yes, so you can give us yes to let us know how many LEDs are coming on and off. Wow, someone says cool. Okay, Favor, I think Favor's LED also is responding as she wanted it to respond. Okay, that's fine. That's good to know. That's good to know your LED is respecting itself. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so in case I think I have the video on how to do the simple LED. So for anyone that maybe missed this step, yay, okay, now the LED, I think now the LED is also working. Yeah, now so we again, Favor has given me yay. No, Namdi and Favor, they give me feedback. So can I get from who again? Yeah, so you can ask your question now. We are done. Can you ask your question? Yeah, but before you ask your question, note this. If you want to learn how to fly drones, I have a link I'm going to send to you now. It's actually made by our company in the US, Drone Cadets. So you can download the app for free and start flying your drone on your computer, on your mobile phone. Yeah, so I'm going to send the link now to everyone. So if you want to learn how to fly drones, just go to that link and download the app and start flying your drones on your mobile phone. But though it doesn't work for all phones, it's only high-end phones. So if you have a very big phone, like maybe Samsung, I think you really like it. Yeah, you like to use it on Samsung. So, but for those people that missed the tutorial, you could just watch this video. Blinking LED. So it's time for your question and answer. Let's do this. Do you also teach? Sorry, I didn't get that. So do you teach They also teach how to write programs to operate a drone. Yes, sure. You could also write programs to operate drones. Yeah, we did that as well. But that will be another workshop. But today we're just trying to make sure you understand about drones and flying drones. So that's what this workshop was majorly about. So unless we can actually schedule another meeting for how to then program and write programs for drones, we could also code drones as well using Python and also using, Python is what they use most times. That's it. Okay, so you said the drones app cannot work on your phone. Can you make a drone without a program? Yeah. There's some drones you could actually make, but you might configure it, but you might not program it. Yeah. So there are some drones they make. You could actually make a drone without a program, but then the configuration already has the program embedded into it. So that's just it. So like this drone, for example. This one already has a program, so even if you want to, they've already put the program in it. So even if you want to assemble it, there's a program already inside of it. So yeah, so there's a program inbuilt. That's just what I want you to know. So what type? The question I'm getting. So what type of phone? Because I think my phone is not compatible. Yeah, so I noticed most phones are not compatible, but I think because of that reason, let me see if I can share my screen. If I can send another code, use iPhone. Oh, okay. Aside that, let me see if I can get another link I got from the company in the US. Drone Cadet. Drone. I'm trying to get the other link that works on my phone because I know most people have this issue. Android app updated. Okay, I'm going to send you another link. Though I don't know if I think it's going to work, but then let's see. Okay, so let me send this link. This one should work, but you may need like about 60 MB or 40 MB or so. So that link can allow you to download it on your phone, on your Android phone, Android precisely. Yeah, so it's going to work for your Android. Yeah, so that's just that. So I think somebody said they have question earlier. Who was the person? Can you give your question now? Because we have like less than 20 minutes, I think. So we can wrap up. You can unmute yourself if you want to talk. You can, you're free. So do you have any question again? But most of my content are actually on my YouTube channel. Like there's sometimes I share some content on my YouTube channel. So in case you want to see some stuff, you could actually just visit the YouTube channel and learn from it. And our organization also teaches for free Blacks in Robotics. Yeah, so I will just show you how to go about it. I don't know if you can see my screen. Oh, sorry. So if you go to YouTube, for example, you could just type for IoT Lab. I think that's the name of the organization. Just type IoT Lab. So you see this. When you type IoT Lab, it's going to show you most of my videos where we talked about robot, how to build your first robot. I think I did some recent video recently. So yeah, so okay, like look at this now. Like somebody was talking about programming drone. I think you can watch this video to help you to get started with drone programming. And okay, this was the last flight I had in YLEAD. So, but these are just like basic things you could just go through and search for on my own YouTube channel. But then, if you want to learn some other stuff from our partner in the US, we have a link as well. You could just go to YouTube. YouTube is actually a very good place to start up. So apart from my IoT Lab video, which is this, just go to YouTube and search for IoT Lab. then you guys subscribe for getting updates. I think we have more videos coming in by tomorrow. Yes, so you could learn. I think I have, let me see. So like this is a self-driving vehicle I built in 2018. So you can learn this. Yeah, so this is the vehicle here. You can learn how to make a vehicle that drives itself, and once you see an obstacle, it actually moves away. It moves away by itself. Yeah, so that's just what the robot does. Yeah, but my team in the US, Dr. Berry, let me see, Dr. Carlotta Berry. I think she has some videos that also will help you for Tinkercad. Yes, so this is a video. Yeah. Yeah, so these are some of the videos, some of the video we did recently. Let me see. Okay. All right, so that's just it. So do you have any question? Trying to get. Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to get it. Yeah, so okay, so like this is what we did for African children. So you could also see this video. Now this is the video we did for students in Lagos. This particular video, yes. So it will also help you out in case you want to get started. I can actually copy the link and send it to you now. Yes, it's going to help you. This is what
so Cyril, hopefully you have somehow been keeping track of
yeah. So it will help
participation.
For those of you that are also interested to learn robotics as well, and you want to get started. It's actually what we did last 2 weeks for some students in Lagos. Yes, I just sent the link as well to you. Yes, so yeah, but then you can actually just search for IoT Lab, and I'll be sharing some videos soon on YouTube or Instagram. So that's just it. So yeah, I think we are done. So I don't know, which other questions do you have for us? Yeah. Yeah, so we are done. So I would like to know which other questions do you have that you want to.
Because I think that would be something good to know if we ever do this again. I think by my estimates, most of these events, we are getting between 13 and 20 people. But that would be something good to share.
Okay, since you said we have so many resources shared, thank you so much. Okay.
Your partners, so they know the impact.
Okay, so that's nice. So I think yes, I actually I sent the update last week regarding the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, so I also screenshot the list, like the total number of attendees as well to her, so she could also keep it in a record.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah. Okay, so that was me talking about. Been busy with some TV sessions. In fact, I was invited to come for a TV interview today, but I told her that I will be doing some other stuff. So she said no problem, it's next week. So yeah. Okay. Well, I'm getting some good vibe from.
Right. I think I'm going to go ahead and get started, but if you all could monitor the chat in the waiting room.
Okay, I think a lot of people learned a lot from this session.
So welcome.
I don't know who's the facilitator. So do you have a last word for us? So as we go into the world and start tinkering.
Particularly in Nigeria, although we call it Africa outreach.
I am really wowed everyone. I personally was looking forward to how this session was going to be because it's a bit technical. But then you've made it a lot more simple. Yeah, sure. You made it a whole lot really simple, and since even from our various locations, we could actually understand you. That's a whole lot you've done for us. So we really appreciate you for being our guest in the house.
Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of us would on the program right now want to reach out to you
Okay.
Yeah, so we would also get back to you later today. Some of the participants would want to reach out to you. So we don't know if it's okay for them to do that.
Okay. That's my contact, is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah, we would communicate details about this to you by mail.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you very much for an interesting session with you today.
I'm glad it was interesting because I know technical sessions like these are always not really easy to come by.
I must say, and I personally, like I said before, I was wondering how this whole thing was going to pull off. But then, wow, like you really did great. You did justice to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for the session.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes. Okay.
Sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Contact you.
Okay. You can actually send a mail. Okay, let me give you my social media channel. I think that's fine. So this is my email I'm trying to send by now. That's my social media. But you can actually look for me on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is the best place because that's where you can actually see me. Not even on my, this is my name on LinkedIn. Yeah, so you can connect to a LinkedIn there or search for me on social media. My name is I am Serial. I think this is on that place. Yeah, so we can actually go from there. So once you check there, we can direct or because that's like the best place. So in case maybe I leave where my location, you can still have me there. Yeah, that's why I prefer this because I know it's default everywhere in the world. Yeah, so you can send an email or you can look up me on LinkedIn, and that's my social media channel. Or just use IoT Lab, which is also where I share most technological stuff. Yeah. So
okay,
that's just it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. All right. I'm glad everyone is really happy about the session today. So thank you for your time. I think in the next session we might actually do flying of drones or like programming drones or something. Yeah, because today we only just talk about introduction to robotics and introduction to flying robots, which is drone. So, but I think with time we might go deeper into more practical session. Yeah, like I told you earlier, if you go through the link I sent you earlier, I said there's a video that's coming up tomorrow. It's going to be shared. Yeah, so I don't know if it's this, but it's just going to be talking about the drone, the session I did for Canada students in August. So like you could learn how to get started with drone technology as well from that video. Yeah, so that's it. So I think we still can connect later on. I think the next session will be more practical than this with really more amazing stuff. Thank you for today's session, and yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. All right.
Thank you very much. Thanks again.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
It was happy having you on the session.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, so that's how today's session comes to an end. We still have 30 minutes before the session finally closes. So for the remainder of the 30 minutes, do we complete the networking session, or take time out to complete the applications for those of us that haven't submitted applications for the internship placement that is coming up next week? So what do we suggest? Do we continue or we take time out to complete our applications? I want to hear feedback. Hello, guys. Okay, so Favor is saying we can continue networking now. Okay, good. So let's complete the session because we won't have time for that anymore. Let's complete the session, the networking session. I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. Okay, guys. I hope this time we get to finish. Okay, so we've talked about why networking is important, and then let's go to fears of networking. Now, a lot of people, when they hear the word networking, it comes with a lot of fear for them. In fact, when they hear that a particular business includes networking, the first thing that comes to mind is, I am not interested, because they feel networking is talking to people that you don't know, means approaching people that you do not have an idea of if they'll listen to you and stuff. But then, what are the networking fears? The first is that people fear being turned down. People fear being turned down by others. They feel if I take my idea to this person, the person is going to turn down my idea. He might not like my idea, he might not buy my idea, he might not want to be a part of my idea. So they fear being turned down. And then some people also fear being offended by others or offending others. They fear that when they take their business ideas, some people, they might get offended or they might feel offended. And then they also feel that they might look foolish. Their ideas might look foolish. You know, there are some people that are negative, and that's why I said avoid negative people. You don't want to have negative vibes all around you. So do not do not take your business idea to someone who's going to make a mockery of it, or someone who's going to turn you down, or someone that's going to make your ideas look foolish. And then some people also fear criticism. So all of these are networking fears. The way people view networking might make them react in some ways. Some people feel that when you bring an idea and it's not something that they are familiar about or familiar with, they tend to criticize. So how do we then overcome these fears of networking? How do we overcome fears of networking? Okay, now to network efficiently, make a Rolodesk. Now, what's a Rolodesk? Rolodesk is a list of contacts you'd like to discuss your networking ideas. Now, we're talking about networking when it comes to you sharing your ideas and growing your business. So have a list of contacts. Make sure that you sift your list. You remove or make your list according to potential, maybe clients or potential people who could help you. So when you have a list of contacts, it makes you confident. Make sure that you get to know the people on the list so that it's not a complete stranger you're talking to. So have a background idea of this person I want to speak with. So who is this person? Okay, what is this organization? Especially if you're selling your ideas to big organization. So have a list of your contacts. Then ask questions. That I'll include asking questions in making your background checks. So find out what's their idea of this business idea I'm about to sell. Is this organization someone that already has an idea of what I'm doing? So it helps you prepare for your pitch. Now, craft your elevator pitch. Now, what's pitching? It's possible that we've heard the word pitch before, but what does pitching means? What does it mean? Pitching is selling your ideas to a person in a very short time. Now, trust me, that's what is trending right now. No one has the time to wait for you to give long speeches about your business idea or read a whole proposal. No one has that time. So make sure that your pitch, that your idea, sum it up into few words, sum it up into few sentences that you do not have to take so one time. You don't have to bore them out with your plenty ideas. It won't work that way. So craft your pitch. Make sure that your pitch or your idea is something that is catchy. In fact, we have different types of pitch. Elevator pitch is just one type of pitching. You have the one-word pitch, you have the email pitch, and so on. So make sure that your pitch is something that is catchy and can take or hold down the interest of someone that wants you to talk more, not a long story, not a long speech. So when you're pitching your ideas, use your elevator pitch. So tell yourself, what is my business in 10 words or in 10 sentences? In fact, 10 sentences is even too much. What's my business idea in 3 sentences? How can I better wrap up or package my idea in very simple wordings or very simple sentences? That is what you should do. That's what an elevator pitch is. So in 5 minutes, time yourself, when you write out an elevator pitch, time yourself, talk to the mirror. In 5 minutes, if you exhausted 5 minutes, you know that your elevator pitch is lengthy because your elevator pitch shouldn't be more than 5 minutes. Now, why is the word elevator pitch picked? It feels that your pitch or your ideas should take the span of a moving elevator. So if you're in an elevator, your ideas, you should be able to sell your ideas in the span of a moving elevator till it gets to the top, which is no more than 5 minutes. So craft your elevator pitch and then develop people skills. Another word for people skills is social skills, and this cannot be overemphasized. We talked about social skills on and on and on. In fact, throughout last week, that's what we're talking about. So be friendly, have good communication skills, and then be able to network efficiently. So now let's take it all over again. Have a list of contacts, make background check before you sell your ideas, craft your pitch, not less than 5 minutes. It is advised to use the elevator pitch. And then develop people skills. I hope we're in the house. Are we still there? Okay, so stages of networking. So like we've talked about how to network efficiently, we talked about preparation, and part of preparation is what we just talked about. Okay, Favor was saying, yeah, okay, good. So part of networking and part of preparation in networking is what we just talked about, having your list, making a background check, and then crafting your pitch. Then practice, like I said earlier, you can start with people that you are comfortable with. You can start with family members and friends. Ask them, so what do you think? How is my pitch? What do they think of? Is there anything you could add? And then make follow-up. Follow-up is very important in networking. You might sell your idea to someone, and then in the end, you do not follow up. So what happens to that interest? The interest dies. So when you network someone or when you sell your ideas to someone, be sure to follow up. Be sure to check up on the interest. But when trying to follow up, do not be a pest. Try as much as possible to not crowd out the person or choke out the person with trying to like develop the interest. Give it time and then you follow up on your interests. Okay, so that's it about networking. It's an important skill when you're trying to sell your idea to people. So if I'm taking this again, I would say networking is a very important skill that requires that we build positive and advantageous relationship with people, make connections with people. Can be anywhere, online or in person. And we said that it is important because you'll be able to accomplish a whole lot more when you have a lot of people in your network. And then it does not just need to be a few people with the same ideas. Sometimes we need a lot of people. We might need a particular person for something that sometimes we need people from some certain things. But let's say you've networked someone, or you met someone, or you have someone in your network, you could always call on that person when you need help. So that's why it's always good to have a lot of people in your network, so that you have any challenge, you can always reach out to this person and then the person comes through for you. So we also talked about networking fears. We said the fear of being torn down, the fear of offending others, and the fear of looking foolish, and also the fear of criticism. Then we said that to network effectively, we need to make a Rolodex. That's a list of contacts, ask questions, do background checks, craft your pitch, and then have social skills. Then we also said that to network, we need to prepare, practice, and follow up. So that's all for networking. So I'll drop the slide on Slack today. And then the slides for the two sessions that happened today, that's the Assessing Global Opportunities and the Drone Making class, and videos will be uploaded as soon as this session is over, as well as this slide. So by tomorrow, okay, you're welcome. So by tomorrow promises to be an amazing session. Thank you, Favor. Thank you, Abundance. Thank you so much. So it's great having you guys, and I hope you sent your emails. I hope you sent in your emails too. We'll be responding to the emails right after the session today. We'll be sending in your emails right after today. So please, okay, good. Okay. So please expect feedback from us later today. Thank you very much. This brings us to the end of today's session. If you have any question, please, it's time now for it. Drop in the comment section, or you mute yourself.